Welcome into the Cowboys Report, as promised for the second time today, as we now know the initial 53-man roster for the Dallas Cowboys. The final roster cuts are in. We're going to break them down, and the 53 men left on the Cowboys team, for now at least. 4 cuts, the more notable ones who are expected to return in some capacity for the Dallas Cowboys. Cooper Rush, Brett Maher, C.J. Goodwin, and Jake McQuaid. Background here is this. All 4 players are not subject to waivers, meaning they can be released, have the wink-wink, nudge-nudge handshake agreement to return to the Cowboys, whether it's on the active roster or maybe in the case specifically of Brett Maher on the practice squad to at least begin the year, since remember, you can promote players a couple times each year from the practice squad to the game day active roster. What the Cowboys are doing is manipulating the 53-man roster limits. They'll place some guys on IR, then they'll bring back these players once they put those guys on IR, freeing up a roster spot. So it's a bit weird, but you should see these guys back in a Cowboys jersey to begin the 2022 season. Now, if you want free Cowboys videos every single day, you come to the right spot. We told you we had the video this morning and another one once we knew the 53-man breakdown. Any moves that come tomorrow, including the practice squad, we'll do another one for you. So if you haven't already, hit that big red button and subscribe right now. 4 of the more recent roster cuts. Will Grier doesn't make the roster. Those of you good with math know what's going on at the quarterback spot. More on that coming up here in a little bit. Isaac Alarcon has been cut. Injury for his ankle is not that severe, reportedly. He's a practice squad option again. Same with Brandon Smith, and Malik Jefferson was actually the last reported cut in terms of what was coming down in order. Other ones that we broke down earlier today, but we'll discuss some more again for you. Sean McEwen, I thought he could be an IR stash. Not the case. They'll try to get him to the practice squad. He's a bit banged up right now. He has a knee injury. Malik Davis is the one, and Tyler Coyle, too, are the one that more people are concerned about getting poached off of waivers. Remember, 98-ish times out of 100, the guy you're worried about getting claimed doesn't, and it ends up being fine from that perspective. So I wouldn't worry too much about Davis or Coyle. Those are the ones to be concerned about, but we'll see. Story Jackson also cut. More waiver moves coming by the Cowboys, but if you are ready, if you are hyped and maybe tired of waiting for week 1 of the NFL season, show it by liking today's video right now. I certainly am, because it means football truly, and not that preseason sometimes garbage, is finally back for the Cowboys and the rest of the NFL. All right, more cuts here. Mika Tafua has been released, the defensive end. Alec Lindstrom, Dontario Drummond, Braylon Jones, all names we expected. Practice squad candidates there. Aaron Shamklin and Isaac Taylor Stewart were waived injured. Once they clear waivers, because I don't think anyone's going to claim them with them being injured, they will then revert to IR. Isaac Taylor Stewart likely needs season-ending injury. I don't think the Shamklin injury was much better. Avion Collins and Josiah Bronson, 2 prime practice squad options for the Dallas Cowboys. Those are the moves that came in today. 5 more that we'll break down from earlier in the week. But what of the moves so far was the most surprising to you? I'd go with maybe Malik Davis, but I want to hear from you. Most surprising roster cut made by the Cowboys. It's the pinned comment on today's video. If an ad break comes on YouTube, take advantage of it. Head down there and let me know. We mentioned these as part of our live show on Monday. I'll hit them quickly. DiNucci has been cut. TJ Vasher upsetting some Texas Tech fans out there. James Empey, Eamon Simon, and Big Cat Bryant all released by the Cowboys as they get down to that 53-man roster. So with that in mind, let's break down the Cowboys' initial 53-man roster, because there will be some more moves made. We'll go position by position, point out where some changes could still occur, but you know the core of this Cowboys roster already. So with that in mind, let's go Madden style. Rate the Cowboys roster right now. 0 to 100. Is it a bad roster? Is it a great roster? Let me know how you're feeling from 1 to 100 on that Cowboys squad. We begin with quarterback, where, at least for now, there is only one option. That is Dak Prescott. Cooper Rush, Will Grier, and Ben DiNucci all waived. I believe the plan right now for the Cowboys is this. They'll bring back Cooper Rush, whether it's on the active roster or the practice squad to begin the year, and they'll try to get Will Grier to the practice squad as well. Now, Grier is subject to waivers, Maybe he gets claimed. I kind of doubt it from that perspective. But we can still go with this question. Pick a backup quarterback for me. WG for Will Grier, CR for Cooper Rush. There isn't technically one on this roster. I think it's going to be Rush in the end, at least for now. But let me know who you'd rather have in the comment section. Let's go to running back now. Ezekiel Elliott, Tony Pollard, and Rico Dowdle. Those are your three. That's all the Cowboys have right now at the position at running back. We'll see if Malik Davis can get to that practice squad, but they are sticking with just those three once again. No fullback either on the Cowboys squad. Wide receiver is super deep for now. It's actually 8 players right now on the Cowboys roster at wide receiver. CeeDee Lamb, Michael Gallup, Jalen Tolbert, Noah Brown, Simi Fehoko, Kevontae Turpin, Dennis Houston ends up making it as well. For now, you see James Washington on there. The expectation here is that he is going to go on injured reserve. He will miss at least 4 games at that point, but that gives the Cowboys some extra depth with Gallup, who's closer, but not all the way back yet, set to miss some time to begin the season as well. Now, if you want to bet on the Cowboys, whether it is some prop bets, some week 1 odds, win the playoffs, whatever, in light of the Eagles adding another great defensive player but having quarterback concerns, do it with our sportsbook partner, BetUS. Chatsports.com/bet. Promo code Cowboys125 gets you a 125% deposit bonus when you put down at least $100. That's chatsports.com/bet. Promo code is Cowboys125. The betting odds for week 1, maybe not what you were expecting. The Bucs are only a 1-point favorite on the road. It was a thriller last year, but both teams now dealing with some very real injury concerns. If you want to bet on that game, whether it's for the Cowboys or against the Cowboys, it's chatsports.com/bet. Promo code Cowboys125. Let's move now to the tight end situation, where Dalton Schultz, Jake Ferguson, Peyton Hendershot are the 3 tight ends. Ian Bunting is already on injured reserve, so he does not count against that 53-man roster from that perspective. Let's go to the offensive line, where the Cowboys for now have 9 players, but there has been expectations of them adding another offensive lineman, which is complicated because we mentioned Tyron Smith is going to go on IR. James Washington will go on IR. That puts them down at 8 linemen. You're trying to bring back 4 guys, maybe 3 if Maher begins the year on the practice squad. That means you still need to make more room for somebody on injured reserve. Maybe Matt Willet's go, but the Cowboys don't think surgery's needed. So keep an eye on the offensive line. This one could still go through some fairly noteworthy changes. Now, I'll make note. The offensive line options, my friends, are not good because it is basically September. The time to find viable offensive linemen was months ago. You're not going to find great options in free agency or via the trade market. But with that in mind, let me know. An offensive lineman you guys want to add via trade or free agency in the comment section. Let's talk defensive line now. 5 players for now, at least on the interior. Oso Odighizuwa, Neville Gallimore, Tristan Hill did make this team, barring a surprise late trade, folks. Quinton Bohanna and John Ridgeway. I would keep an eye out for John Ridgeway, possibly going to IR. I don't know if you need 5 interior linemen. He's been a bit banged up. You can kind of stash him, basically, bring him back later in the year. Because for now, you actually go 6 deep at defensive end, knowing that Chauncey Golston and others can kick inside, reduce inside as a defensive lineman. So that kind of is significant on that standpoint there. But DeMarcus Lawrence, Dorrance Armstrong, Sam Williams, Chauncey Golston, Dante Fowler, and Terrell Basham make the team. I wasn't sure Basham was going to. Maybe there's a trade option down the road for him, but Dallas going deep at edge once again. Let's go to linebacker now. Micah Parsons, Leighton Vander Esch, Anthony Barr, Jabril Cox, Devin Harper, and Luke Gifford. So 6 deep at linebacker for the Cowboys. A little bit heavier than I thought they might go, but they wanted to make Devin Harper on the roster. They value him, and Luke Gifford is a practice squad candidate. I will make note, by the way, Damone Clark is going to revert to the injured reserve list via NFI. That was expected. That was going to happen for months. So he's on there, but not counting against the 53-man roster. And Devontae Bond had already been placed on IR, ending his season. Cornerback now. Trayvon Diggs, Anthony Brown, Jordan Lewis, Kelvin Joseph, Deshaun Wright, Deron Bland. Don't rule out a potential injured reserve move for Kelvin Joseph. Might be a bit of a dark horse move, a surprise move, but he did have a concussion in that final preseason game, and the numbers don't quite add up from the obvious IR candidates, so there is some surprise move still to come, but Deshaun Wright, Deron Bland round out that six-man deep corner depth chart. Safety, it's the five we've thought it was going to be the entire time. Jaron Kearse, Malik Hooker, Donovan Wilson, Israel Mukuamu, and Marquise Bell. So no real surprises from that standpoint as it relates to the Cowboys' safety room. It's the first time in a long time I feel good about the Cowboys' safety depth chart. Finally, special teams. As much as I would love the Cowboys to go that kicker this year and just say, screw it, go for it every time, they're not going to do that. Brian Anger is the lone specialist on the 53 for now, but Maher and McQuaid will be back in some capacity. McQuaid will be re-signed. Those guys are vested veterans. There's no real guaranteed money. Waive them, play around with your roster to cheat a little bit, and then bring them back once guys go to IR. Before we go, the reminder of the season. We are trying to bully the Dallas Cowboys into committing fewer flags. Let's make that happen. Spam flags for me right now in the comment section if you got all the way to the end of today's vid.